Hello everybody, this is Miss Amy here, and we have another fun art project today. This one is called Summertime Self-Portrait, and we're going to create your self-portrait and make a fun summertime reflection in our sunglasses. So this is a very fun project to do, so let's go over the supplies you need to complete this project. First, you'll need some drawing paper. So I have my piece of drawing paper here. We will need a pencil and an eraser, a black Sharpie, and some colored pencils. And I have some colored pencils here. You can also use color crayons for this. The crayons blend similar way to colored pencils, so crayons would work. If you want to use markers or something else, you can, but for this video, I'm going to use colored pencils. So, oh, and also you will need a mirror, a little mirror, because you do need to look at your features of your face to draw those. So that would be helpful too. And, oh, a pencil sharpener, because when I'm coloring with colored pencils, I tend to have to sharpen them a lot because I use them up. So that's always handy to have nearby. All right, so let's get started with this project. We want to have our paper in portrait direction, which is up and down. That's the best way this project will fit on the paper. And it is a self-portrait, so that makes sense. So before we get started, we're going to make a guideline to help us to place our face on the paper. So what I do is I just take the top of the paper and I'm going to gently go all the way to the bottom and just barely make a crease. I'm not going to push it all the way to the table because I want to just have a faint line that I can barely see in the middle of my paper. Now I can take the top of my paper, fold it down to that faint crease in the middle of my paper, and then gently make another faint crease. We don't want to make hard creases in this because we want them to disappear later. So I have that top crease there, and we can do the same. There's my faint crease in the middle. We're going to do the same with the bottom. Fold that up just to the middle and just have, so we have like 3 sections. Okay. So, and as we draw and color, those will go away. Those won't stay in our paper unless you've pressed too hard. If you pressed all the way to the table, those creases will stay there. They won't go away. So we're going to take our pencil and we're going to start by drawing our sunglasses first, and then we'll add our face to our sunglasses. So what we're going to do is that crease line right there, we're going to start on that. And I'm going to just start in. I want to make this fill the whole paper, pretty much my face. So I have a nice big picture of myself. So I'm going to make a little dot here, just a little bit in from the edge, and the same on the other side. This is where I'm going to start, and this will be the other side of my sunglasses. Those just help give me some guidelines. So your sunglasses can be a little bit different shape than mine if you want them to be. I'm going to show you the shape that I drew for the example here. This shape right here, I'm going to draw that same shape, but if you want to make them pointy or bigger or smaller, that is totally up to you. You can be creative with that. So we're just going to draw our line across, and I'm going to dip down just a little bit in the middle, kind of to represent where the nose is going to be. So you see that very faint little dip, not a big dip, just a little one. Okay, then I'm going to make my curved line towards the outside of my paper on that side, and curved line towards the outside of my paper on this side. And this is where you could make it pointy or a square, depending on what shape of sunglasses you would like. All right, so now I'm going to draw the bottom, the curved part. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a little dot kind of in the center here, just to kind of know where I can bring my curved line. And so I'm going to come in just a little bit to show the edge of my glasses there, and then I'm just going to curve down and curve around and curve up to that dot. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to go in just a little bit, curve, try to maintain that same shape but opposite direction, and curve back up to that dot. Now, if you see they're just a little bit off, this is where your eraser can come in handy. You can make some adjustments if you need to. So I'm just going to adjust that one ever slightly so they match just a little bit better. And if you've got them where you like the glasses, then we'll continue. Then you can continue on. So it's okay to make adjustments so that they look the same to you. There we go. That looks great. All right, so now I have the edge of my glasses done. I need to create the inside of my glasses, this part of my glasses, where I'm going to put my summer reflection in there. So I am going to start here. And basically, I'm going to follow the shape that I've already drawn. So this is pretty easy step. So it's just a parallel line that's going to follow the shape that I've already drawn there, follow that line. So I'm going to make it start here, and I'm just going to follow that outside line. Try to make it the same thickness. And then I'm going to come across to follow that line up here. All right, that looks great. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to follow my line, my outside line, follow it all the way around, and then make that line across, following that shape of that line. And you can make any adjustments that you need so that they are similar in look. And I think that looks great. All right, that's probably the hardest part, is getting those glasses on there. So this part, we're going to go ahead and we're going to draw our face shape. And this is where you can look in the mirror and you're going to draw from your cheeks and your chin. So maybe you have your chin is more like a little more of a point. Your cheeks, maybe it's a little more squared. However it looks to you in the mirror, you're going to draw that shape. So I am going to draw the shape. Mine's a little more squared. So I am going to draw, I'm going to start here underneath my glasses. About here, if you have a smaller face, you might want to start in just a little bit. I have a little bit wider face, so I'm going to start out here. And I'm just going to come down, and you see that bottom line that we made here? I am going to come and bring my chin just below that line, okay? So that little faint line that we have at the bottom, and that's a good guideline. So actually, if you want, you could just make a little dot just below there to know where to bring that chin, to bring your chin. So I am going to draw mine. And there's my chin. And then I'm going to start on this side and do the other line on the other side. So I'm going to start towards the outside of my glass frame there. And bring it down. And this is the part, now that we're drawing, your glasses can look the same as mine, but make sure that you're drawing the shape of your face and not my face, unless you have a similar shape to me. There, and you can look in your mirror to see. There we go. And you can make adjustments. It's okay to do that. Artists don't always get it exactly right the first time. So it's okay to have an eraser and make some changes. All right, so once you have your face shape, we're going to do the top of our hair, and we're going to go above or top of our head. We're just going to make a little line above our glasses now. And usually our hair is a little more poofy, so we want to do the outline of our hair and not necessarily just our head. Unless you have really, really, really short hair. But mine's not very short. So I'm going to start here towards the outside of my glasses, farther out than I did my face. And I'm just going to make the top, and I'm going to go near the top of my paper. And then I'm going to come around and stop. And I'm going to add my hair later. But it might look kind of funny now. It's because your hair is a little more poofy usually. And we will come back and add the details in her hair. But we're just going to get that line in there right now. And so we want to finish our face and neck. And then we'll go back and add some details in there. Okay. All right. So we want to add our nose. So this, you want to look in the mirror and see the shape of your nose. So mine is, so maybe your nose is a little more smaller at the end, and maybe it points a little bit, or maybe it's a little bit wider nose. So mine's a little bit wider. So I'm just going to draw a line straight down. And then I'm going to draw a little curved line on this side. And the curved line on this side. And then I'm going to come down, draw the middle of my nose part, which is a curved line here. And then I have a little curved line here and a little curved line there. And you can slow or stop the video, but if your nose might be a little different than mine. So here, I'm going to draw that line just so you can see a little bit. Your nose may just be, here, I'll turn my paper over. Your nose might just look like this. It might just be a little nose like that. You could draw it like that, or maybe your nose looks more like this. You know, it could be a little smaller. It's depending on what you see in the mirror, you draw your nose. So yours might look a little bit different than mine. That's good because you're not drawing me, you're drawing you. And we'll color that in later. All right, and then I'm going to come down, usually about halfway between my chin and my nose is about where your mouth is located. And you can look in the mirror to see the shape of your face. And I'm going to make mine looking like I'm smiling just a little bit because I'm happy to be doing this video with you today. So I'm just going to draw the top of my lip line, and you can look in the mirror to see what yours is. So you don't want to copy mine exactly. You want to make the shape what yours is. And I have little lines here in the mirror. I have some little lines there. And then we have a little line here, kind of that little dip under our nose. And then I am a little older, so I have a little more lines on my face. So I'm going to add some lines here. And then I have a little line. I have like a little bump on my chin there. So I'm going to add a little line there. Okay. You may not have all those lines because you're young. You're probably younger than me. So you don't need to add those if you don't have those. So maybe you have a dimple though. You want to add a cute little dimple there if you have a dimple when you look in the mirror. So then I'm going to draw my neck. So it's just a curved line down. Yours might be more straight than mine. There we go. And then I'm going to just make a shirt. You can make your shirt however you want. I'm just going to make like I'm wearing a t-shirt. It can be what you're wearing, or you can make up your own shirt. And you may go off the edge of your paper here. That's perfectly okay. And then I'm just going to make my shoulders because we want to fill our paper. So our main thing is getting our face on our paper. Now, if you can see your ears, you could draw your ears in there. My hair covers my ears, so I can't see my ears. So I'm not going to add any ears to my picture today. So I want to do my hair, and I do have a part on the side. It's over here. Oh, over here. Right there. I don't have my mirror looking at it right now. So I am just going to make a part here. So I'm just going to make a part on my hair. And a line, because I have bangs, so I'm going to make my hair come over here and over here. And then I'm just going to draw a line, some curved lines for my bangs. You may not have bangs. Maybe you can see your forehead. So you just draw the lines to create your hair, okay? And I'm going to draw some more lines for my hair. Maybe you have curly hair and you could draw some curly lines. That would be cool. So there's my hair. And then I'm going to draw my hair. My hair is kind of long and goes to my shoulders. So I'm going to draw, and it's kind of wavy a little bit. So I'm just going to draw some wavy lines for my hair. And my hair is, you can see it on my shoulder there. So I'm going to erase that shoulder line there and just draw my hair. Just wave my hair here. Just some lines for wavy. So whatever your hair is, maybe your hair is curly, you want to make some more curly lines. You could do lines like this if your hair has some more curls in it. Maybe your hair is really curly. Or maybe you have short, spiky hair. You want to just do short little lines at the top like that. So you draw the hair however what it looks like to you, whatever lines it looks like to you in the mirror. The short little lines, curvy lines, you make the lines that your hair is. And then I'm going to draw some lines in there. Perfect. All right. All right. So now that you've got your basic lines, you've got your hair and your face drawn, this is my favorite part, is drawing the summer scene in my glasses. Now, you draw your favorite thing to do in the summer. Maybe it's to ride your bike, or it's to go to the pool, or I like the beach. So I am going to draw a beach scene in there. And just remember, when you're looking at something, you're going to see the whole scene in both glasses or both frames. So you want to start it here and continue over on this side and make it look like one big picture that you're looking at. You don't want to have one here and a different one here, because when you're looking at something, you're going to see the whole thing. So you want to see that whole thing in your glasses reflected. So I'm going to draw that I'm at the beach. So I'm going to go ahead and just start by drawing a beach here, coming down. And then I'm going to draw water in the distance. So I'm going to draw my water, and then I'm going to continue my water on this side. Okay, and then I'm going to draw see my beach, how it goes here. I'm going to continue that beach right out here into the water and then make it go in like this. So this is water down here, water. And then I'm going to make another little beach, just a little hill beach over here on this side, coming down. And so on this side, I'm going to draw a little palm tree. Maybe I'm in Florida or somewhere fun where they have palm trees on the beaches. Maybe you have a different type of beach you like to go to. Okay, and there's my little palm tree. And then on this side, I'm going to sit, maybe I'm going to bring my chair and sit under an umbrella and enjoy the beautiful day at the beach. So I'm going to draw my little umbrella. And then you could just erase those background lines in your umbrella so it looks like it's in front of your hill there. And then I'm going to draw a little chair so I can sit and relax, maybe read a book. My little beach chair there. There. And then I might have a cloud in the sky. Maybe there's a little cloud in the sky, or a sun. You might have a sun in your sky. You could add a sunshine. And then maybe a seagull flying in the sky. So you make your scene whatever you want. It could be whatever you want to do in the summertime. Maybe it's having a picnic and eating some watermelon, and you want to draw a big picture of a watermelon in there. That is perfectly fine, whatever you like to do. So once you have this done, you should probably trace it with a black Sharpie. This will just give you a really nice, good outline, and will give you easier boundaries for coloring. I like to have a nice dark outline for coloring. So this is the So this take a little bit of time, but once you've outlined everything in Sharpie, you can take your big eraser and erase any pencil lines that are left, and that'll just make it look nice and neat. Your picture nice and neat there. Draw those. And the fun part too is coloring it. When we get it all traced, it's always fun to do the coloring part. Here's my beach umbrella, my beach chair. All right, and then I have some lines in my water to represent the water. There we go. And you're just going to do that with your whole picture. Just outline everything. This will take a couple minutes, but it'll look nice when you get it done. And then if there's any pencil lines that you maybe go, oh, I really don't like that I put that line in there, this is a great time to not include that line, and you can erase it when you're all done. And then I'm going to show you how to color, maybe layer some colors with your colored pencils. So you want to get a little bit of shadow or shading in our picture. And this is show you how to do that with your colored pencils. You can also do it with crayons. It does work with crayons well too. All right, get this. If you can see your ears and want to draw those, and maybe you have some earrings in, you can add those. There we go. And just on my face. All right, so I've got all my lines traced. I'm going to take my big eraser and go through and erase any pencil lines that are left. This is just going to clean up our picture and make it look really nice. Yeah, that's looking good. I almost like this one better than my original one I did. That's what, the more you do art, you can keep improving every time you do a picture. You can say, oh, I need to change that or change this. Artists don't always get it exactly how they want the first time. Sometimes they have to practice, just like someone playing the piano. You got to practice to become more skilled at it. Same with art. Got to practice, practice, practice. All right, so I've got all my pencil lines erased, and this is looking great. So now the fun part of coloring. I'm going to start with my skin color, and you can look in the mirror to see, kind of match your color. I'm kind of a peach color, a little lighter peach color. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my peach colored pencil, and I'm just going to color in. And I'm not pushing very hard because I don't want to get a super dark. I'm going to use my brown to come in and add some shading when I get done. So for this video, I'm not going to color this entire picture because it's going to take a while. So I'm going to show you a couple things, and then I'm going to let you just go ahead and get color in your picture. So I will do the face here just to show you how to shade in some areas. And you can do this with your hair to make it look more real. This is kind of a realistic look, a realistic art today that we're doing. And so I want to show you some things you can do to make it look more realistic. And this is where you might need a pencil sharpener. I have really soft colored pencils, so I have to do a lot of pencil sharpening when I'm coloring with them. And when you're coloring, we want to do a good job. So you want to take your time, and you want to go, it helps to color in one direction too, instead of all different directions on your picture. There we go. And so I'm going to color all my skin color in first before I add my shadowing. So I have my face and my neck that's showing. So I'm going to color it all this base color. I'm going to add a couple other colors to it to make it look a little more realistic. This is my favorite type of art. I love doing things that look realistic. All right, so once I have that color in nicely, I'm going to take my brown here and I'm going to add a little bit of shadow. Now, if you're using a brown color, maybe your skin's a little bit darker than mine, you could use a black to add some shadowing in if you needed to. I actually use a little black inside my nostrils here because that's dark shadow in there. And then I'm going to use a little bit of brown here, and just where my sunglasses are sitting, it's causing a little shadow there, and underneath my sunglasses and along the side of my nose. And I'm just coloring lightly. I'm not coloring very heavy or dark, but I just want to lightly layer that on my top of my light peach color there. And then I kind of want to stop. And then the lighter you push on your pencil, the lighter the color is going to be. The darker you push, the darker it's going to be. So where you want darker, push a little heavier and then start pushing lighter and lighter. And that's going to give you and that's going to kind of blend it. So you go from dark to a little bit lighter. And that's going to look cool. So you don't have like a sharp line. And maybe under your nose a little bit. You want to do real lightly because you don't want it this brown streak under your nose. You just want a little bit, just very lightly there. And I'm just going to add a little bit inside where those lines are on my face. Maybe underneath my lips just a little bit. Might be creating just a slight little shadow on my face. And down the side a little bit where my hair might be. But the biggest part of my face there might be a shadow is on my neck. So I'm going to push harder and get a really dark brown there. See how I'm pushing harder and see how much darker that is than up here where I colored? It's because I'm pushing a little heavier on my pencil. And then I'm going to start pushing lighter and lighter. So that's how you get that blended look. Until I'm barely touching my pencil on the paper. And then see how it just kind of blends nicely and I don't have any sharp lines there. That's all done by how hard you push on your pencil. So here's a heavy dark because it's creating that shadow. And now I'm going to start pushing lighter and a little bit lighter and a little bit lighter. And then I don't get any line. This is something you might need to practice. Don't be upset if you can't get it the first time. This takes a little bit of practice to get that technique down. And so you could practice on a piece of paper first and just practice controlling how heavy you're pushing your pencil, your colored pencil down. There we go. See, now I have a nice little shadow on my neck. but no lines. You don't see this dark line and then all of a sudden it's really light. It gradually gets darker to lighter. And that's all done by how hard I push my pencil down. So don't get discouraged if you don't get that right away. Just practice that on plain paper first, and then you can try it. And you can do a self-portrait many times until you get it how you like it. So I'm just going to add that little bit of shading. Then I'm going to take red here, and I want to give myself just a little bit of rosy cheeks. So I'm just going to gently, barely touch my red on here. I'm barely pushing down just enough to give myself just a little bit. And then I'm slowly getting fading so you can barely see it. See, I just have a hint of red there without being big red cheeks. So just a hint of red there. And I'm barely pushing on my colored pencil because I just want a hint of that color in my cheeks, not a lot. And I'm going to do my lips this color. So for the top part of my lip, I am going to do real light. I'm not going to push very heavy on there because my lips aren't super dark red. And then underneath, I'm going to give myself a little bit darker, just a hint darker, and then get lighter towards the bottom of my lower lip. So it looks like a little shadow of my upper lip on my lower lip. And then, I mean, you could use pink if you want. I don't have a pink colored pencil handy, so I'm just going to real lightly color with my red to get that on there. So that's one way to get some shadowing on there. And then with my hair, I have kind of brown hair, kind of some light brown with some gray in it. So what I'm going to do is just color. I'm going to put my first layer of brown on there. So I'm going to color all my hair that one layer of brown before I add any more details in it. So you want to put down your base layer color first before we add the details. We're going to layer our pencils. So let me do it up here. And I'm going in the direction that my hair is going. That's the way I'm going to color this. It'll just make it look a little more realistic. Now on the top here, you can see more gray. So what I'm doing is my base color, I'm actually leaving little streaks of white because that's going to show maybe where that gray in my hair is highlighted a little bit. You may not have that on yours. Hopefully, if you guys are all kids, you won't have gray hair. You might have some blonde hair though. So you could do that, leave it kind of white for that real blonde color. So I'm going to leave a little bit of that just to, because a white colored pencil really doesn't show up on a white paper. So that's why I'm leaving a little bit of white showing through just to represent some of that gray hair that I have. All right. So then where my bangs come out, I might have a little bit of shadow there. So I'm push a little bit harder on my brown and then push lighter and lighter so I don't get a line there. So I just want a little bit of shadow, so a little bit dark right along that line. And then I'm going to get push lighter and lighter on my pencil so it kind of blends it so I don't have a line there. Kind of do the same thing here where my part is. Do that same thing. Okay. And so once you have I'm not going to color all my hair, so it's going to take a little while. I just wanted to show you. Now I'm going to go through with some black just to create a little bit of real lightly so it looks more like gray. And I'm just going to add a little bit. I'm not going to add a lot. I'm not going to color it all in. And this, what it does is it kind of gives a little bit of shadowy look, and because our hair isn't just all one color and nothing else. We have a variety of colors in our hair. Mine just happens to be a lighter brown that shows up most, and then I have a little bit of grays, and I have lighter browns. Yours, even if you have black hair, you're going to have a little bit of maybe some dark brown colors in there. Some, that shows that sometimes you'll have a little bit of reddish colors in there. You want to use the colors that show up in your hair. Because none of us just have one color and nothing else. We always, if you look at it in the light, you'll see So you're just gonna, and I'm following the curving of my hair, the direction, and I'm just adding that little bit of black in there. So now you're seeing some white areas kind of representing the gray. You see some brown areas and a little bit of light black or dark gray areas too. And that just gives my hair, makes it look more realistic. Now, your glasses can be whatever color you would like them. And then you can color your summer scene, whatever color. Like I'm going to make a yellowish beach. So I'm going to use yellow, brown, and orange and layer it just like I did on the other parts. For example, I'm going to start with my yellow and just lightly. I'm not going to color heavy, but you start with your lightest color, my base color of yellow. But I've never been on a beach that's this yellow. Usually there's a little bit of browns and tans in the beach. So what I'm going to do is add a little bit of orange in there. Just really lightly. Like I'm not even pushing very hard. I'm barely getting my color in there. So when you layer, you want to color lightly when you layer, if you're going to layer several colors. And then I'm going to take my brown and lightly color my brown in there. And look, I just have a beautiful beach color now. You can see it's not totally yellow. It's not totally brown. It looks kind of like sand now. It looks more realistic just by layering my colors there. And that's one way you can do that. And then what I did for my shirt and for my background, I used complementary colors, colors that are opposite of the color wheel, on the color wheel. So for example, orange and blue. So in my original one, I did an orange shirt with a blue background. You could do purple and yellow. You could do a yellow background with a purple shirt, or a purple or a yellow shirt with a purple background, or green and red. You could do a green background with a red shirt. Go ahead and have fun with those colors. You could do orange glasses and have a blue shirt and maybe a purple yellow glasses with a purple background and maybe a yellow shirt also. Have fun with that. Use the colors that you like. If you just like pinks and purples, you could do that also. You could create whatever you want. And just color in the direction. It's good if you color in one direction. It just looks nicer. I added a little bit of detail on my shirt just by coloring lighter with orange and then darker with orange to create that look of some texture on my shirt. You could do that however you want. But go ahead and have fun with your colored pencils. I hope you enjoyed this project, and I would love to see a picture of it. You could always email me your finished, completed self-portrait. I'd love to see what you create. So thank you for joining me today. Bye-bye.